The Young and the Restless spoilers for Thursday, August 28th. See Kyle taking another huge chance, and Victoria worrying about what her innocent daughter has set herself up for now. Kyle makes a bold move. Kyle, Michael Mueller, is always sure that he knows best. He fails. Every single time. And yet this in no way suggests that maybe he should stop trusting his instincts and maybe listen to someone who hasn't failed as much as him, for a change. Kyle has another brilliant idea, which he rushes to implement, no matter what it may cost him, or somebody else. Now that they're together, Claire, Haley Aaron, is naturally in the same line of fire as Kyle. She is happy to be there. Claire loves Kyle and wants to do whatever he says, the same way she did everything that her Aunt Jordan, Colleen Zenk, said. Claire grew up abused, so abuse is all she knows, which is why she's so gullible. Her mom, Victoria, Amelia Heinley, also grew up abused. But at least she wised up to how her father manipulates her and, once in a while, actually pushes back. Now Victoria worries that Claire won't be able to, and she's concerned about what that will mean for her daughter moving forward. Jack, Peter Bergman, has been supportive of Kyle and Claire. Victor, Eric Braden, was violently against it to the point where he was snarling threats right and left. But after Victoria pushed back, see above, and Claire even stood up to him, Victor backed down and claimed he was not accepting of the arrangement. Claire and Kyle may express their thanks by swearing loyalty to him forever. And while they're doing that, they should tell Jack how awful he is. Until they're ready to do that, Victor will tell Jack for them. As summer 2025 winds down, we want to take a moment to look back at the summer that was at The Young and the Restless. So, what did the #1 soap opera deliver from Memorial Day to Labor Day? The Young and the Restless kicked things off by celebrating Nikki's, Melody Thomas Scott, birthday with a party at which Claire, Haley Aaron, and Kyle, Michael Mueller, tried to convince Victor, Eric Braden, he should give his approval to their relationship. The Kyle and Claire story turned out to be a major subplot in the summer. However, before we arrived at Nikki's birthday celebration, the two words on everyone's lips were Aristotle Dumas. And Aristotle Dumas, who turned out to be Kane, Billy Flynn, drove the dominant storyline of the summer. Y&R fans couldn't escape it. First, there was the mystery of Dumas' true identity. Then we spent weeks in France, during which the fine, upstanding citizens of Genoa City learned the mysterious billionaire was boring, old Kane Ashby. What should have been a major secondary storyline to come out of the Dumas mystery plot, with massive implications and aftermath, was the murder of legacy character Chance Chancellor, Connor Floyd. Instead, Chance's rich history with Jill, Jess Walton, Nina, Trisha Cast, and Catherine Jean Cooper was glossed over. Calling it an afterthought would be kind. Chance wasn't the only murdered by a day player in France. Damien, Jermaine Rivers, fell in love with Lily, Crystal Khalil, which basically put a bullseye on his back because of how glaringly obvious it was that Kane's return was meant to be a Kane and Lily storyline. Damien who, Chance and Damien weren't the only The Young and the Restless characters to die this summer. Cole, Jay, Eddie Peck, croaked, but much like Chance and Damien's deaths, it wasn't much of a plot point. But at least the characters' death got the Newmans to get out their black outfits and parade around the living room of the ranch. Victor's hate for Kyle and the Abbotts continued throughout the summer and manifested in Audra's, Zuleika Silver, attempt to seduce Kyle and break up him and Claire. In return for her work, Victor funded Audra's imaginary cosmetic company. However, when Kyle called her bluff and exposed the truth, Victor cut off Audra. She scrambled to keep track of all of her lies after Claire told Nate, Sean Dominic, the truth, and whether or not Audra and Nate's relationship will survive is still TBD. However, by the end of the summer, Victor decided he was okay with Kyle and Claire dating but told Kyle, I'll be watching you. The Young and the Restless spoilers for Wednesday, August 27th, find Phyllis in one of her usual frenzies of brilliance, which Nick has to, once again, keep from blowing up Genoa City and herself. Nick's damage control. Phyllis, Michelle Stafford, assured Kane, Billy Flynn, that she was an expert on artificial intelligence. And then she looked up what it was on her tablet. Is that what qualifies as a tech genius these days? Nevertheless, Phyllis assured Kane she could hack into the Jabot, Newman Enterprises, and Chancellor Industries websites using AI, which she is totally a master of. Trust her on that one. Nick, Joshua Morrow, used to trust Phyllis. And every single time it exploded in his face.